Here's to another episode here of Gregtech Community Edition Unofficial. Last time we got ourselves this lovely little advanced gas turbine and battery buffer all set up so that we could get some machines started and rolling. So I think the first thing we're going to want to do is get some machines here. After we take a short nap, keep all our low voltage machines working to help us work on this. Now, I did prep a couple things. This time, all the stuff I prepped actually matters. Where I did get ourselves 3 machine hulls, bronze rotor, some good circuits, electric motor, electric piston, copper nickel wire, steel pipe, glass silver wire, and some copper wire. And just to show you these crafts really quick, recipe, that's not gonna work. Okay, electric piston requires 3 aluminum plates, 2 rods, a gear, 2 copper wires. It's the same exact thing in the assembler. However, this electric motor now takes 2 aluminum rods, 2 copper nickel times 2, or 4 copper nickel times 2 wires, 2 copper wires, and a magnetic steel rod. Now, if I go over to a crafting bench, we're going to actually grab ourselves a brand new crafting bench for over there. But we're going to start out with the first machine being the mixer. Since we couldn't mix up our steel last time, let's get the mixer here, which just requires 4 pieces of glass, a motor, the bronze rotor, and machine hole with 2 of the good circuits. Gives us our advanced mixer. So if we go ahead and come over here now, drop this crafting bench down right there, should be able to throw it on right here. I guess we want to throw it on the wire to make sure it's attached. Okay, so now to take this battery out that I used to charge up my drill, plop it right back in there, and this refinery gas that I whipped up will go ahead and give us some power. So with that, I can now come over here and grab out the chrome dust, vanadium, and steel dust. I believe, didn't I need a circuit? I do need a circuit for this. So let's grab out this bending circuit because we're not going to use it for now. Go ahead and plop that right in there, and we go steel dust, vanadium, and chrome. And now we can start getting our vanadium steel mixture, which this will be very nice because we can go ahead and throw it in this blast furnace here to start getting some vanadium steel. So that one's carrying on pretty well. And there we go, we got our vanadium steel. So let's go swap that out and get that started, because we do need that for the rig that I was working towards. So plop our aluminum back in there. Gypsum is used for something else. Basically got that whipping up something that we're going to use here in a second too. So the next machine we need a electrolyzer. This will actually help us electrolyze some materials that I've got that you can't electrolyze without it. So with this, you just need 4 silver wires. You need 2 on either side. A machine hole, MV, glass, 2 good circuits, and a copper cable. Take that. We'll go ahead and snap that in right here on the same side. Grab out some more of this vanadium steel. Make sure it's continuing over here. So we only got 11 blocks of charcoal left in there, so I'm gonna have to probably do some more tree chopping here. But with this electrolysis machine, I do believe if I go ahead and look at, I think I was making in here. So we got some phosphoric acid, which apparently I can get phosphorus slightly easier than using this. But if I take it in here, 1 bucket will become phosphorus dust, 3 hydrogen, and 4 oxygen. So we're going to grab our bucket, because it's the only way we can transfer right now until we get some, I think it's stainless steel. So you either use this or you use test tubes. But if we dump it right in there, it's going to go ahead and start. We're going to get a couple pieces of phosphorus dust. This is going to let us get more of the superconductors so that we can make a better machine area for all our low voltage machines that we're going to be using. There is the last bucket. And plop it right on in. We got 3 phosphorus, got 8 oxygen, which is actually pretty good. That'll a little bit more than 8 oxygen. That'll replenish some of our oxygen supplies. So now we got 2,000 because all my rubber ended up going into the barrel that was filling with my oxygen. That also gives us some hydrogen here, which I should have a hydrogen barrel right there. Alright. I do have this big barrel of this is all refined gas here, just so I can use this in the advanced gas turbine. The last machine I wanted to make sure we get is this extruder, because this is going to give us great help. It's going to make bolts, gears, small gears, and rings at the highest efficiency in a single step. It also helps us with rods, long rods, and rotors, which will be nice. But the gears is actually the #1 reason that we really want this. So we make that using 4x copper nickel wires, 4 of them, an MV machine hole, an MV electric piston, and 2 good circuits with a steel fluid pipe in between. That'll give us our advanced extruder. If we go ahead and wire that up, go ahead and claim that quest. I don't think there was any rewards. Yeah, no rewards for the other 2. But for this quest, we got a extruder for the gear type. We're gonna plop that right on in there. Stick this one in there for now. See how far along. We got 1 vanadium steel. Only 8 blocks of charcoal left, so we're gonna want to go craft up some more of that. I'm gonna go grab the chainsaw. Made a chainsaw before the last episode, actually, just so I could have something that would last a lot longer chopping down trees, because making the axe every 2 seconds felt pretty bad. As you can see, the chainsaw works just like the axes, in that it chops the whole tree down. You don't have to do any weird stuff where you're trying to finagle back and forth or climbing the tree to get it done. But I do need to go grab another sapling. So we did not get enough. That's our rubber tree sapling. And I want to grab the rest of this just so we can get more charcoal going, because charcoal has been unbelievably required in this. I knew that you would need quite a bit, but I didn't know it's going to be as much as it is. So, I was going to grab more charcoal while I was over here. So let's go ahead and grab out. I don't think I can do a whole block, so let's just do 3 stacks into blocks. Shift W that into there. Sometimes a shift click doesn't go through for some reason. But it gives us 21 more blocks. Keep pushing through, making that vanadium steel. It does take quite a bit of time. Looking at the blast furnace recipe, if we had nitrogen, which the only problem that I have is I haven't set up a process to get that easily, which is the only reason we don't have a ton of it. If we had nitrogen, it would only take 53 seconds. Otherwise, it takes a full 80 seconds. So, with those couple things, I think the only thing left after this to get this fluid rig is... yeah, we're literally just waiting on the vanadium steel. Because I have that, I should have more good gears over... okay, put them in that chest. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will help get us an oil pump set up, which I'm going to have to empty this tank out really quick, see if I can do that. Now our oxygen's going in there. Our oil in there for a second. I am going to move that entire contraption over there so that we can have so that we can have like a buffer for the tank. But while I am waiting for that to finish up with, I think, let's look at this really quick. So if I do this, usages for that in the extruder. So if we do take ourselves silicone, rubber, aluminum, titanium. So it looks like it's 4 per gear and we need 4 gears. So I'll be back once that vanadium steel is all finished. And we will get the gears set up so we can set up this big old rig to make ourselves tons of oil. It's rich, filthy rich with the black gold. You're a bit. So I just wanted to show a little short quick note that I went through all that process to make phosphorus acid to get 1 phosphate. Whereas now, if I just take this phosphate, which I got from ore processing apatite, I can just pop it down here in the basic electrolyzer, and 5 of them will make 1 phosphorus and some oxygen. So there is actually a better recipe to get phosphorus, which didn't realize, and that's why everything's been taking so long. A little bit frustrated with that, but we've got a better recipe now. Alright, so we're back here. I did already get 3 of the gears made up. Just wanted to show you with 4 of them in this gear mold that I'll start processing to make our 4th gear. Now, the last thing that I needed to do with that, these in here so I don't get them mixed up, we needed these 4 circuits machine hull, 4 frames, 4 of these electric motors, 4 electric pumps, and 4 of the vanadium steel gear. And then in here, looking at that, it does need a circuit set to 2. And if we dump all of that in there, won't tell me we need a medium voltage one. So I guess that's going to be a little bit later too. So we will go ahead and put that all back in there. So that goes 1, 2, that's all in there. But I have been trying to get a steam turbine set up, just a low voltage one, because that's all that we need to power something we've already done before, but it's all we need to power one of those rigs, because it only requires 3 inputs of 8 EU per tick, and a low voltage produces far more than that. But we have these 2 bronze fluid pipes. I guess I already had some bronze plates over there, but get that. Grab ourselves 1 of these tin cables. We can set up our steam turbine. Now it should work. Set that up like that. Should be able to clear this off. Those will start producing their power. I have to bring over some of those steel casings at some point so I can make this level ground. But that'll work there. And then from here, let's actually get started on making an... let me show you how the process of making that steam ethylene works. I got hydrochloric acid in here. I don't know how or why I got that. Let's look up the polyethylene. So for polyethylene, right there. So the way that I went about making all of this stuff. So we get to ethylene, and to get to ethylene, you do need to make some hydrocrack of one of the different gas types. Or steam cracked. So I basically was using the steam cracked stuff. To get that, I grabbed one of these. If I throw that in there, I should be able to come over here. Currently actually not able to grab any from there. So let's see. That's starting to fill up. So it's producing enough that I can go ahead and take from there with no problem. So we'll do that. Bring that over. And I believe in here. So if we crack it, we do need to put in a circuit. So let's grab this circuit. Put it right there. And then it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So that'll produce, but it does half the contents. So we're going to have 400 of this lightly steam cracked refinery gas. Now if we take that and put that in there, we put that in there, we get this. To get to our polyethylene now, or ethylene in general, we just need to put it in the distillery actually. So that's going to go in the distillery. Pull that back out. Put it in the distillery. And we need, I know that we need a number in there. I just don't remember which one. So let's go ahead and put that in the distillery. Uses on that, in the distillery, if we want to get ethylene, we need a 3. So let's grab 3, put that in there. That will get us our polyethylene. We'll go ahead and take a nap just to keep our power rolling. Don't jump on there. So the ethylene should be going right back in here, and now with that in here, we do the chemical reactor with 500 ethylene and 2 buckets worth of hydrogen. Just go ahead and grab that. Got our hydrogen. Go ahead and plop that right in there, and as soon as it reaches half a bucket, which I don't think we're gonna reach a half a bucket. Not quite. So what I'm actually going to have to do, go dump that away. Pull that out. Put that in a random input for now. So we need to grab out one more thing of some refinery gas. We'll get one more thing of steam. Needed 1. Cracking unit will actually help it to where we get the full amount back, which will be nice, but for now, we got the 400 again. We'll do the 3, pull that out, pop that right in there. Should be able to put the ethylene back in here as soon as we see it. Put the ethylene in. Go grab ourselves a cell of hydrogen, and this will be able to get us that polyethylene so I can make we need a circuit on 2. Where do I have all my circuits at? I know I have one in there. Set that to 2. Pop that in. There we go. That will give us 250 of the hydrocracked ethylene. Now, if I use that in a distillery, we get a 1-to-1 ratio over to ethylene. What? That's not right. I messed up. It is oxygen we're supposed to use. So I think, yeah, I totally just voided a bunch of ethane. Okay, yeah. Well, mistakes were made. Let's go dump this rubber back in the rubber barrel. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and void this ethane just because that's just totally gonna screw with us. So we'll get this back in there. Throw the hydrogen back in the thing since we screwed that up. Grab oxygen in the cell so we don't forget that. Grab the ethylene out. Okay, grab this in here. Dump that. Grab this out. Void that. Grab this. This goes in here. With steam. I got plenty of steam over here. I believe we needed this on a 1. Put this in the distillery again. On 3. Idiot. 85. 160. 320. Just enough. Go ahead and pick that up, dump it in. Should have just enough when I get that done. Okay, we got the 520. Now, using the ethylene, putting it in the chemical reactor with oxygen on number 2, not number 2. on number 1. Well, put it on number 1 right there. That would explain it. I kept doing the wrong program. Well, now for this, we will get our full polyethylene back. That'll help me make a couple more of these medium voltage machine holes. I think the last thing we're going to really work on is making sure we have an assembler so we can actually use that stuff. Now that that's all set, let's go ahead and get our polyethylene in here. So we use those for those machine holes. Dump our oxygen back in the tank. And I will see you guys next time, where we're going to make ourselves another assembler so we can actually get this refinery going, so that we can make polyethylene easier. We can, I'll be able to shift all of this machinery around. And I'll definitely, actually all of this machinery will be shifted around because I've managed to get ourselves some phosphorus. But I just got to get the manganese out of this type of dust here, and I will be able to get ourselves some superconductors. These machines will all be moved around, and hopefully next time we'll be able to get that refinery finally going so we can actually get a lot more automated stuff going. Be able to build more of these machines out and around and have power running without having to just use these solar steam things in the background there. And looking forward to being able to do a way to power this not using the steam boiler, just so that I can continuously produce the steel, continuously produce the aluminum. But next time will be great. Bye!